Hi, lovely people. Thanks for joining me. This is episode 5. I thought I would just share some projects that I started. Since the last podcast, I've started a bunch of different things. I thought I'd share. Oh, Cosette the Tiny Demon would like to say hello. Hello, Cosette. Do you want to say hi to the people? Say hello. Hello, I'm a little Halloweeny. I'm a baby. Mwah. Okay, so first of all, can we just address Easter candy? I don't know about you guys, but I hate Easter candy. My favorite is Cadbury Mini Eggs, and the ones with the hard shell and the solid chocolate in the middle. I don't know what it is about those, but they're so good. So I try to avoid the pharmacies during Easter, but it's pretty tough, and so I have probably eaten my weight in those stupid eggs. But what can you do, right? It's definitely getting warmer. Spring is here. I planted some daffodils and some spring flowers outside. It's really pretty. I'll probably put some footage somewhere in the podcast. But it'll probably be quick. I just wanted to share some things that I started, and then I ran into some trouble. I thought I'd show some of my progress too. It's just fun to connect. The podcast experience, it's definitely starting off slow. I think as I do more of these, hopefully people will catch on and they'll like them. I don't know. I like knitting along with people when I watch podcasts. It makes me feel like I have like a little community. So that's kind of why I started this, is because in my area there just isn't, I haven't connected with anybody with the knitting, in the knitting world. Oh, I have one friend, but she's pretty busy, so she's not able to do as much knitting as I do. But anyway, I thought I would start off by showing you the sweater that I am working on for my niece. I added more to the sleeve, and I kind of like how it looks. I forgot that it would turn out this way because, obviously you're drawing out the lines horizontally more. So, with the sleeve, you're going to see the repeat sooner, and so it makes a different effect. I mean, I love that. It kind of really does look like a sunset. So, I don't know. I think once I add the other sleeve, it's going to be so cute. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I just am finding that I'm having a hard time sticking with it and not doing other things. But yeah, I'm kind of treating it like a sock. Like I do work on it. It's in my bag at all times. I take it in the car when I go places and stuff, and so it's kind of like a sock. I just keep working on it when I can because it is a winter sweater, and so obviously I have time to finish it now. I have not started on my nephew's. Okay, so I have to share out about that. Remember the last podcast I talked about the yarn, and that funny blue yarn that was a cotton, like a tape. Even going down, I went down 2 needle sizes, it just wasn't cutting the mustard. So I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out a different yarn for that pattern. But I mean, like I said, I have all the time in the world, winter. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, and I should probably show you, well, this is a finished object. I'm kind of going out of order, but I think I probably showed this on the second or third one. Elle modeled it for us when it was not finished. The ends were not woven in, but I just now woven the... Sorry, I keep like burping. It's so gross. Sorry about that. Anyway, I finished it. Well, it was already finished when we podcast before, but I put... the finishing touches by weaving in the ends. So, and it's so cozy. I actually forgot the yarn that I used. I know that it was from Hiloko, but it was Huloko mohair and yarn. I think it was a one-of-a-kind called Mountain Mama or something like that. I think it was like a collaboration yarn with a pattern. And then this is just Madeline Tosh yarn, but it's a DK weight, and it's super cozy. I like it. It's kind of an odd shape, just the way it's knit. It's kind of like a backwards like hood. Like I could almost wear it as a hood. I didn't try that. Let me see. I have so much hair. Oh my gosh, it would totally work as a hood. Check that out. How cute is that? I mean, it's a little strange right here though. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Well, then it has it's a multi-purpose design, actually. It's pretty cool. I like it. Super warm. Anyway, on to the next. So I was watching The Grocery Girls the other day, and they had a cowl, a Zoom cowl. Well, they're going to have a cowl for the sweater. So it's the Comfort Fade Cardi that Andrea Mowry designed, and it's a beautiful sweater. It's, you know, using the fade technique, and it's reverse garter stitch, so it's super interesting. It has a shawl collar. I will try to pop a picture in here of it. I don't have the pattern in front of me, but I knit this sweater and I had such a hard time with it. I ripped back the shawl collar twice and finally just gave up. It was just nuts. It was a nightmare. Short rows get me. So I did it in a marled way. I just held two fingering strands together of different colors. The colors are gorgeous, but the shawl collar does not line up, and it's, you know, it's cute off, but it looks totally weird on. And for a busty person, it just doesn't work. So I gave up on it. But, you know, it's beautiful. I wish it would have worked out. The yarn is just nice. I think most of this yarn is Knit Picks tweed something. City tweed, I think. And I might have some indie dyed marled in here. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, eventually I guess I'll just rip it out. Or maybe I could take out the shawl collar and just do this. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Sure is pretty, right? Yeah, that's a bummer. So, you know, I was feeling like that was pretty informational. The discussion that they had on Zoom about the sweater, because they interviewed Andrea, and just she gave some cool tips for sizing and pick up, and this, because I know what the problem is. Picking up stitches, you know, you really have to be careful and be even with the way that you're doing it. So she said she learned a technique where you pick up a certain amount for every inch or something. I need to go back and watch it, but maybe that's what it would require if I was brave enough to rip this out and start again. But I don't know. Not sure. I hope you guys can't hear that. I think someone's working in the yard. Never fails. Whenever I'm podcasting, there's all kinds of weird noise. So on to the next thing. I am making a gift for someone, and I know that person's not going to watch this, so I'm fine to show you. But it's the Lune shawl. It's by, I know her last name is Hornsby. I will pop a picture of it in here. But, so I was using all rustic yarns. It calls for Brooklyn tweed. I'm pretty sure I'm using a combination of Brooklyn tweed for the contrast colors. Whatever their fingering weight yarn is. I think it might be Shelter. I don't know. I don't remember. And they didn't have the color that I wanted in the Brooklyn tweed. So I used Hudson and West, and I talked about this the last podcast, in the weld yarn. It's a fingering weight and it's super rustic. It's really like spongy kind of. It's beautiful. It makes a nice fabric. But this is called the star leaf pattern, something like that. And for some reason, like I've started this a couple times, it just, I don't know, it doesn't flow well. Any little tiny, you know, not necessarily a mistake, but if your tension changes, this really shows. This yarn really shows that. And you know, if you turn it around and like it just doesn't look good. It looks pretty bad. And there, I mean, it's not really any mistakes. It's just the yarn itself. It's just not very forgiving. And so I see a couple holes. It's a little off tension here. I don't know. It just bugged me. So I went into my stash, pretty deep stash, and decided to use, what the heck are we doing out there? I don't know, maybe cutting some wood or something? I don't know why they would be doing that. But anyway, so I decided to use this, which is so pretty, right? And I mean, it's a close second to this. You know, it's got the chartreusey gold, but it also has this beautiful like denim-y gray blue. It's just really nice, and it has a bit of nylon, so it's more forgiving. And this is, believe it or not, it's a hand-dyed line by Knit Picks called Hawthorne Fingering, and this colorway is Portsmouth. I think it's all towns in like major towns in Oregon. So yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with it. So I'll show you my progress. Oh duh, it's right here. So I'm much happier with this fabric, because if you make a little mistake, you know, it's just not as noticeable. I just think that other yarn is just, it's too light and airy, and you can kind of see through it because it's, there's too many variations in the yarn for this stitch. So anyway, I'm really happy with this, the color, all of it. It's just really cool. I love the pattern. It's a mosaic shawl. And so, you know, I'm really happy with the Brooklyn tweed. I think it's really nice. Hopefully it'll look good with this new yarn. So anyway, that's that. And I really recommend this pattern. I think it's like, believe it or not, I would say, well, so far I don't think it's going to change. I mean, it's not that many different techniques, but I think it could be easily like an advanced beginner. I'm definitely not the best knitter. I make so many mistakes. I'm learning all the time. I would definitely call myself a beginner, maybe an advanced beginner. But yeah, I think this is doable for a beginner. So yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, so I did decide, I know I talked about it, but I did decide to rip it out, but I still haven't had the guts to do it. It's just too sad. The yarn is so special, but you know, I just can't live with it. So, I mean, it's not going to fit. So I just need to get over it and rip it out. One thing I wanted to show you, because I had shared my birds with you guys last time, but I actually have an actual pattern for, it's like a kit, a bird kit, that I got from, oh boy, I'm going to totally butcher her name. Well, her company is called Knit for Victory, and she's in the UK, but her name is Nikki Fijalkowska, I think. Anyway, she's got a cool, she's on Instagram, and I love watching all her videos. I think she has a couple bird, like, she's kind of made her outdoor birds her pets, and she names them, and it's really cute. So anyway, this one is for Sparky the Budgie, and he's so cute, isn't he? So this kit came complete with all of the stuffing and the yarn to make him. You should check her out though, because she has got some really cool bird patterns. She's really into birds. Yeah, so you know, you could always use any color yarn that you want. And I also had another bird I didn't show you guys on the last podcast. Let's see, let me grab it really quick. He's got problems. He needs to be reshaped. I made some mistakes on his neck. I don't know what's going on with this, but, and he's got white eyes. I'm not sure about, so the eyes I have not perfected. On some of them I've used beads and I've sewn them in. On others I've just taken like straight pins, and then clipped off the actual, you know, put hot glue there and clipped off the actual metal part so you don't get stuck. But then I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I like that look. It would be cool if you could see really finely and had a really teeny tiny pin or something that you could paint the eyes. That might look kind of cool. I do like his colors though. Isn't he cute? Yeah. All right. So I did start. One thing I really want to make is some more tank tops for summer, because you know, I did one last summer and I really love it. It's a linen one. It's the Heya tank, and I'll try to remember to put the designer there, but it came out really nice, and I think that it would be nice to have a bunch of those in, you know, neutral colors. But I get bored, so I was thinking of knitting a different tank top. And one designer that I like a lot, who I actually have never knit her patterns, is Jessie May. And she's really cool because she's super size inclusive. I mean, she is so detailed in her patterns. She is just a really cool designer. So I decided to knit the outline tee, and so that one is like a crop, but she suggested, because some of her I think test knitters did it a little longer, because I'm definitely not going to be wearing no crop tops. But I mean, the thing is, you could always, sorry, Cosette's like right in the way. You could always, forgot my train of thought. Thanks a lot, Cosette. Shoot. All right. So what I was saying is, I'm looking for a tank to make, and so I was thinking of doing a Jessie May pattern, and I'm trying to find the right yarn, and it never fails. Like, I seem to think, and I covered this a little bit in the last podcast, but when I buy sweater quantities of stuff, or what I think is enough for, say, a tee or a summer shirt, it never is. And so then you end up, piecemealing stuff, and I don't know. I get frustrated with my stash at times, but I was thinking of doing it in this nettle yarn, doing a tank in this, because I have enough. But I don't know what I was thinking when I bought this color. I'm not saying I'm not going to give it a chance, but yeah, this was definitely like an impulse. It's just not really me. It's like a corally. It's really more orange, but I mean, I like orange, but I like it more like a burnt orange or more folly, earthy. But maybe, it'll be cute. I could also do a contrasting color like on the straps or something. I don't know. But this yarn is from Plymouth, and it's called Nettle Grove. And it's 45% cotton and 28% linen. So and it's a fingering weight. It would be super light. Yeah. And I think I mentioned it before, but I'll somewhere in here I will put a picture of that tank top that I want to make. Yeah, and so like I said, this is going to be pretty short. I guess I'll just talk about some of the personal stuff that just like personal stuff. If you're not interested in that, then you can bail, and I thank you for hanging out with me. But if you're staying, I will just say it was my birthday on the 13th. I turned 46. Woo. And I actually have a girlfriend who has been a dear friend for a long time. We've known each other for about 11 years. She was my first friend when I moved back to California this last time. I'd been 11 years ago. So she's actually moving away, and we share a birthday, so we decided let's go south to a town called Cambria. It's a little coastal town, and get an Airbnb. We've all been vaccinated, and we thought that would be fun, so we did, and it was such a relaxing time, full of rejuvenation and just stress-free. It was just so nice to just, hang out with people and laugh and, talk about life stuff. And it's cool because Lindsay's known my kids since they were little, and so, I'm able to talk to her, and it's relevant. She knows them, and so it's always nice to talk to somebody that is familiar with you, So that was really cool. Oh, I wanted to show you my beautiful beach treasures. And I know some people, it's like, don't take the beach treasures from the beach, leave them there. But I'm sorry, guys, I can't. Okay, so first of all, I'm always in pursuit of flat rocks. No. Lay down. I'm always in pursuit of flat rocks, and the reason why is because when I was a little kid, about 4, I lived in another coastal town north of here in California, and my grandmother was an artist, and she came to visit one time, and we took a walk on the beach, and she found this rock and and so she took it home. It was super flat. We kind of made a comment like, oh, you know, we were laughing because it looked like a foot. So she took it back to our house and she painted it, or back to her house after her visit, and she painted it like my foot because it was the same size as my foot. And so it's sad because that was like a treasure for my grandmother, and somewhere along the way in our many travels and moving, we lost it. And so I always wished if I could have anything back, it would be that awesome rock. And so when I went to Cambria, I found like the perfect flat rock. Of course, Cosette has to sniff it. Okay, here, sniff it. Anyway, of course I'm going to paint a rock on it. A foot on it. Right? Because it's just so cute. So maybe I'll just collect a bunch of foot rocks. But my other thought was I was going to collect as many green rocks as I could. So there's a beach there called Moonstone Beach, and it's just covered with beautiful rocks and shells. But I wanted to make a necklace and, you know, get maybe a Dremel tool and drill through those. I just think it would be lovely. Anyway, oh, and I did get some beach glass. There are some little pieces of beach glass in here. Let's see. Too tiny to really show you guys. I don't know if you can see that. What's that? It's really not coming in too clearly. Anyway, it's a green piece. It's really beautiful. Anyway, that was really fun. My car is failing, and today the check engine light was on, and then I was like, oh, I need to take it to get an oil change anyway. But then of course the place closes at 4 in my area, and so it's like I didn't make it. So now I have to go to work with this check engine light on. Ugh, my car's falling apart. I just need to get a new one. So that's stressing me out. And I'm also going to Florida April 10th, coming up here, and I'm going to stay for a little while to visit family, and I'm really looking forward to seeing my family. It's been a long time, way too long. So that's coming up, and I'm excited about that. So I'm hoping to crank out some birds before I leave. I could give them as gifts. Anyway, so that pretty much concludes it. It's pretty short today. I just thought I'd pop on and say hey to everybody and share what I'm doing. I know it's probably a little boring, but that's okay. Some days it's going to be like this. Sorry for the kitty intrusion. I will definitely edit this, and hopefully I'll be able to make it look a little better. She's very nosy today, as you can see. Can you see her silly cat ears? Say goodbye, Cosetti. Okay, guys, it was nice chatting. I'll see you next time. Bye.